I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains today, and I'm looking for trees, to draw trees. I have this little sketchbook that is the smallest actually that I have that I use, and it will fit in my little pouch that I can clip on to my hips, or I can even put the sketchbook in the pocket of my coat. There was frost on the ground this morning. It's almost May, but it's still very cold. And I thought of taking my winter coat. It's light and it has a lot of pockets. Actually, when it's really cold, I don't have to carry anything else because everything will fit in the pockets. I made a mistake though, not taking a backpack, because an hour or two in this journey, it became warm. It became like 70 degrees, and now I have all this gear to carry with me, and I'm sweating. So be mindful of the weather at all times. Also, when you start during the day when it's warm, it can get cold later. So then have something in the backpack so that you're protected. I was looking for trees and hoping that there would be a lot more leaves on the trees, but that's not really true because higher up the mountain, it is not that far yet as in the valley. So there's no masses of leaves to show. But there's a lot of beautiful things to see. There's rocks. I'm going to show you how big these rocks are by walking through it, that you see a human scale. And I'm going to sit down to draw these rocks. They really caught my attention. I use pencil only in the beginning, but very lightly. And I already noticed that the shadows are most important in this. Shadows are negative shapes, they're shapes. So we have the rocks, we have the trees, some of the trees, and the path. So there's no time for detail right now, because if the shadows are that strong, making the picture actually, you already know that it will change the picture very, very fast too. So we're not doing any details. We're roughing it. And I'm not making a picture because photographs are photographs and drawings are drawings. I don't have to show off. I don't need to have a copy of a photograph. I want to have my own drawing. There might be mistakes, but it might be beautiful, perfect the way it is, even with the mistakes. So now, after I put in the rough pencil, I'm going over it with the Micron. I'm already missing my fishing stool. I'm sitting on a rock. So the view is dictated by the rock on which I'm sitting and not by what I would like to draw. It's not a big deal. This is my very first attempt of capturing the forest, the path, the rock, the shadows, and all that. And I will finish it later at home, because while you are observing nature, you also are nurturing your photographic memory, and you will remember a lot if you're not waiting a couple of weeks. So I'm planning on finishing the drawing at home. Right now, all of this is probably half an hour of drawings, maybe 45 minutes. And what I'm doing right now here, this square, is a very important square because from that point on, I derive all the relationships. I see the relationships between that square and the top of the rock. I see the the shape between the two rocks because of that. The negative shapes, everything really is derived from that little square. I think it's also the darkest. It goes away, it's a shadow of that rock, but it goes away on the path. Do the best you can, as fast as you can do it. because again, the shadows will change super fast. If you want to finish it at home and come back to see how accurate you are, or you really think you're missing a couple of important things, or you want to detail the foreground, come back the next day or the day after, but come back at the same time. And that's also super important. If you wait a week, if you wait 2 weeks, then everything will be different. If you are later in the day or earlier in the day, then everything will be different as well. So, and that's confusing. When you're making a drawing, you think, "Oh, how was this when I was there then?" You don't remember. You will not remember. So whatever you can draw right now as a mark, just as a mark, okay, this is what I saw, this is where the shadow is. Even these tiny little plants at the bottom of the tree might be important, because that already gives the direction of the shadows. But again, I don't have much time to do a lot in the foreground, which might be very interesting to see. These are drawings that I make to maybe start painting. So I am just looking for possibilities of making a painting. Making a painting is something different. I have to carry a lot more, and I cannot do it in 20 minutes. It takes a lot longer. So I want to see if I can find a quiet place, if people are bothering me, if I'm comfortable enough. All these things come into play, and I'm just testing the waters right now. The larger shapes right now that I'm doing with a pencil, you could do that with a color pencil, black watercolor pencil, and then dilute it with water so that you have watercolor. Or also just really straight black watercolor. I did not have anything with me of the kind, but I will remember that for next time, that I will have something that goes faster on the long or the bigger parts that need to be a little bit more gray. So I do that so the rocks will stand out and the tree will stand out. Now I'm at home. You can see that the light is more moderate. It's also natural light. And it's just easier for me also to see. It's an hour later now, and I still remember most of the things that I did not have time to fill out there, but were important to mark the path, to see the tree. This is a fallen tree. I'm following the texture of the bark. They don't always have it, so don't do it if you don't see it. But this one did have it, and I enjoy then following the texture the way it is. I like the drawing itself. It's kind of abstract. If you don't know what it is, you will not really see. But I like looking at all the different shapes and values. And I think this is a place to come back to and to make a painting, which can be more subtle and more colorful. And then every season probably is different too, but the rocks really spoke to me. So find something in your neighborhood that might be a little bit like that. But the next video will be more about trees only. This is now about a rock. I didn't know that. I did not know until I walked up the mountain that there were not really trees. Well, the trees were there, but there were no leaves. So good luck with it. I'll love to see what you come up with.